Hi, I'm Ryan McIntyre.
I'm Rhiannon Laakso-McIntyre. This is Bean, and this is Beanie's Bike Shop.
There's a lot of bike shops, there's a lot of bike mechanic jobs. Bike mechanics who make a full-time living are kind of hard to come by. And the best way to do that was to start a shop. And about the time I came to that decision, the love of my life came back into my life. And she was the perfect business partner to start this with. So she came back at just the right time. And in January of 2019, we borrowed some money from a couple of friends and took a leap. It worked. I handle the wrench side of the business, everything that's broken, everything that's out of adjustment, everything that needs to be built for the most part gets done by me. Keeps us pretty busy.
So I do the business side of things, I do the buying, I run the shop. I'm the first person people see usually when they come in. I'm a service writer, and now I'm doing bike fitting.
The thing that separates us from other bike shops, honestly, is that there's just the two of us here, and that introduces a level of accountability that you typically don't see. You always know who you talk to, you always know who worked on your bike, and there are people that come to us specifically for that reason. They want to know whose wrench was on the bike.
The biggest challenge we've faced is that the pandemic started right after we opened. How do you deal with supply chain issues and
trying to figure out how to run a bike shop without employees?
All the things that the pandemic brought to the bike business, that was probably the biggest challenge, but the great thing about it is that it was an opportunity to learn how to do the business better. So we grew during the pandemic. My advice to up-and-coming entrepreneurs is to really listen to your market. When I decide what kind of services we should offer or what kind of products we should sell, that's coming from conversations I overhear in the bike shop and from what people say to me directly. Listen to what they want. Provide what they want. Not just one person, but really get to know your market. Get to know the people and not just as consumers. Our primary customers here are people that work at Lannel, probably. My first thought is that it's mountain bikers, but it's really just people who are really into their bikes, really want them taken care of well. But yeah, a lot of them, I guess, are mountain bikers.
So this is the machine that was funded by the grant from RDC last year. It's called a tube bender. What's special about this machine, unique, is that it'll bend two tubes side by side, absolutely symmetrically, which is pretty vital to bicycle frame building. It's a pretty expensive machine. It's not something that most people can afford to just reach into their pocket and buy. We certainly couldn't. We're very grateful to RDC for providing the funding to do this, and in the coming years, this is going to get used more and more.
I found out about the RDC micro grant from a lady at the Small Business Center at UNMLA. I did the seminar to begin it. I took lots of notes. I spent a day when we weren't open going through it and answering all the questions, and as long as you knew what the directions were, it was pretty easy. The future is more specialized services, building wheels, deep dive suspension service, custom steel bike frames, which is what we got the tube bender for, bike fitting, which we just started offering, and I think that kind of stuff is just going to keep growing as more and more people get to know what we're doing. Can we do it in sync?
I don't know.
This is Beanie's Bike Shop, and this is RDC.